Hi guys, Jay Smith here, down at Bury Golf Range in Suffolk, and it's the morning after the night before, as in someone forgot to charge his wireless microphone batteries properly, so ran out of battery power. Having to do it today. Anyway, so we're going to do a bit more of the old ping stuff for the i210. I got a few here, let's see. The one good thing is I don't get rid of all of the old heads as soon as the new heads come out. So I get a chance, obviously, to be able to compare them and stuff like that. So we're going to have to do the i210 against the i200 this video. And then what I might do is I might do the, I don't know if you can catch that, and you've got the G700. And I might do it against the i500 next. But anyway, i200, i210, let's have a match up. Let's see how they both perform. Okay, so we're in from the custom fitting studio now, and we've got the two heads, the i210 and the i200. We're just going to go through what the differences are, if any, and just have a look at necessarily how they look, feel, perform later on when we go hit premium balls. Right, let's do the i210 first, because I've what I've got in here, whilst I've got the i200 in the other hand. Now these are custom fit heads, so I can obviously swap them, keep the same shafts, exactly the same, etc. So when we're looking at loft, exactly the same, 33 degrees for a 7.9, so there's no difference in loft whatsoever. So the setup basically is exactly the same. The i210 is finished off a lot more, I would, okay, when the i200, I felt the i200 looked a little bit unfinished, and that's my own personal opinion. I didn't get on with the i200. I didn't think it felt that nice. When it come to performance, it performed perfectly well, absolutely perfectly well, but from the point of view of just how it's finished, it looked a little bit unfinished in my view. Still a very good iron though, but there you go. Done of the same Hydro Pearl finish. That's the normal one, the 1. This is the 2.0, so the next gen version. Does it make any difference when it comes to the feel of it? No, not really. But Ping will say that obviously it makes a massive difference. The have on the i200 compared to the i210 compared to the i200. How many grooves it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One more groove. So they've squeezed another groove on the face of the i210. Now, will it help spin? No. Grooves don't really do anything for spin whatsoever. What grooves will do though is be able to disperse matter. So when you're in the rough and you're hitting those shots, hopefully you don't get those flyers, because it can, more grooves, more availability to disperse matter. Anyway, when it comes to the top lines of both of them, it's generally next to hardly anything. You've got a different shape of top line from the i210 to i200, but the thickness is basically the same. The sole width is basically the same. The blade lengths are basically the same. So there's not much in it, if anything, when it comes to looks. You can see a slight difference in top line. It's not thickness wise, but it's just the design is a bit more of a chamfer. When it comes to offset, this is a 7-iron, there's hardly any, if any, offset whatsoever. So it looks a perfectly nice iron to hit. If you haven't already seen my i210 video on my channel, pop on, have a look. Yeah, won't give any things away on that one, because I do quite like it. Anyway, let's go hit the i210 first and see how it feels, then we'll swap over. Yeah, that unmistakable lovely feeling the i210 gives. Now, the old urethane that they've got in this, now it is covering more of the face than the i200. So hence the reason why when I went from the i200, a couple of years, 18 months or so, 2 years ago when the i200 first came out, it just didn't feel great. As soon as I hit the i210 though, oh, a little bit of extra urethane helps a load. That's lovely. That is lovely. They're so high as well. And range balls launch lower, spin more. But these were going high, and if you saw my video review of the i210, they go up. They go up really, really well. I'm going to just get one more. Then I'm going to swap over and see if I can tell you about anything feel-wise between the two. Yeah, it just feels lovely. Now, you're not going to be able to hear too much on camera, I don't think. You might be, I'm not sure. But the sound is a lot more non-ping-like. They have had a little bit of reputation in the past of making clubs which do make a little bit of an explosive noise, a bit of a cracky noise. What I'm going to do, I'm going to swap over now to the i200 like magic. Same shaft, the True Temper XP95 S300, same shafts I did all the testing with, so you can see keeping everything the same. So I'm going to swap over shafts and see what the i200 has to offer. Okay, as if by magic, swapped over. That's the beauty of having the AFS kit, is with the use of the little tool I can whip the head off, swap over and keep the same shaft. Anyway, right, when it comes to the i200 over the i210, if I hadn't have known that I'd have swapped them over just by looks down by the ball, you would not even know. So there's a slight difference in top line, as in how they've chamfered it, but it's basically the same thickness. But if you're not really accustomed to looking at the i210 and the i200s, you wouldn't even know which one's which. Basically everything else is near enough exactly the same to the eye. Now, Ping might say there's microscopic differences in its design. There might be a tiny amount of difference in offset, but I can't see it. As I said, the top line thickness is basically exactly the same. The sole thickness is basically exactly the same, and the blade length is basically exactly the same. And you can't see from this distance the fact the i200 has got one less groove. You're not going to see. But when you go to the back, yeah, you know, you can see it says, well, it says i200 anyway, but the little pocket that it has, it's not as high up as the i210, so like the bottom part of the cavity. There's larger cavity on the i200 where the urethane isn't quite as popped up the face, where you can see the i210, the cavity's gone up higher, so more urethane. That's where they're saying, that's where Ping is saying, that feel, buttery feel. I'm sure Mizuno might have a little bit of a word with Ping. I think they've taken the old thing on buttery feel, haven't they? So anyway, we're going to hit this one. And then, yeah, I'm not going to potentially see, there's exactly the same loft. Exactly the same loft, but with range balls. So we'll just see for a start, see how it feels. It was a great hit. Great on the spot on the grooves, but it's just a touch cracky. And that's it. It felt fine. That was a middle hit. But it's just that higher pitch crack. I mean, it went 2 yards difference to the one beforehand. But it's, yeah. It's just cracky. Nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, performance-wise, go on, if we can have a look. Go on, quad, flick over. Oh, come on, flick over. I ain't got time to. It's the only thing we're having quad. Obviously, you've got the display at the front, but it drives me mental. Well, okay, yeah. So 2 yards again. But it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Feel-wise, yeah, it's just a bit more explosively cracky, which some people might like. God, that's middle couple of mil hill, if that. I've hit 3 decent shots there, and flick over to the screen. Well, it's actually gone 2 yards further than the previous 210. So again, it's all down to strike, but they're exactly the same loft. So we're not looking necessarily, and okay, these are range balls. There's no point in measuring range balls because some of these range balls have been hit 1,000 times. Some of them have been hitting for like one, or well, maybe not one. That'd be a pretty shiny range ball. But you get my point. There's no point in measuring these necessarily. The most important thing is for me is to tell you basically how they feel, how they look. Are there any differences between the two and its aesthetics from the point of the eye? There is a lot going under the hood of the i210 over the i200, of which you can feel when you strike it, but we won't know until we get the actual performance numbers with the performance balls, the premium balls that I use, Vice Pro, on the quad, and see if any difference at all in technology, same loft remember, same length shaft, same shaft, makes any difference whatsoever. Let's go have a look. Alright guys, numbers time between the i200 and i210. Okay, this is one a little bit of a different one, because this was going to be the world's most pointless video if I was going to do it the normal way. I started hitting shots with the i200, and then I started hitting shots with the i210, and very quickly I started to realise that everything was exactly the same. Exactly the same. Literally exactly the same. And I'm thinking, right, this is going to be a pointless video, so I'm just going to come onto the numbers and just give you basically a carbon copy of one, because they're exactly the same club. They're 33 degrees, their design is very similar, with the only exception really of the extra groove on the i210 and the fact that the cavity goes, the little like lump at the bottom, the cavity isn't quite so big, the lump of the urethane that's underneath stretches higher up on the face. That's the only real difference that there is in design. Now, okay, there's a massive difference in what you perceive as feel. Yes, the i210 feels so much nicer than the 200 from my perspective. Again, you'd have to test yourself, guys, but be objective. For me, all I can say is for me, the i210 does feel lovely. Right, so rather than doing this in the normal way, which is going to be pointless, I thought what I would do something which is somewhat slightly different, but also would try and get some kind of usefulness out of it. I done the 210 normal. So when I say normal, I hit the golf ball exactly what I would normally do. The ball in the normal position and just swing normally. Right. The i200, what I did, for one bit of interesting thought, I put the golf ball one ball further forward. That's it. Just to see what difference it would make in this, because in the normal aspect of comparing the clubs, they're exactly the same. Absolutely exactly the same. So there's no point in really giving you numbers. The numbers that I give you for the 210 are exactly what it would be like for the 200. So I will give you 210 first, so you can see how the i210 and the i200 work when it comes to just boring. Let's stick the ball in the normal position, hit your normal shot, measure it, there you go. So get i210 first. On average, let's go ball data first, 120 miles an hour. So for a club of 33 degrees, 7-iron, 120 miles an hour is very healthy. 21.2 on average launch. Again, healthy. Little one to the right, little drawback, 6.4 spin. And peak height of 38. Now the spin, 6.4, that ranges from 7.1 on my highest spinning one to a scabby 5.870 on my first shot. Now that was a poor hit, so if I was to delete that, it goes up to 6.437, but it's tiny, it's 6.4 still. On average 38 peak height, so again it's going up. It is a lovely high flight, average 166, a little bit to the right, 3 yards is nothing, but descent angle 50.5. I'll have all this data on the screen so you can have a look anyway, but this just trying to make sure I can compare. Club head speed 94. Attack angle on average was down 2.9 degrees, which I would normally kind of round about that ish for a 7-iron. Club path is slightly out to the right, face closing to path. Yeah, these quite aren't custom fit for me, so you've got that couple of degrees of club lie, we know that. Club loft, this is interesting, dynamic loft, on average 27.8, so basically 28 degrees. That is what I'm averaging with my ball in the normal position, hitting a normal shot at 38 yards in the air. 1 mil heel, 2 mil low is my average strike. You can see I move around on there, but again, if you go by the strikes page, you can see there that I move around a fraction. Again, human being, not a robot, but it gives you an idea. If you look at how it performs with my strike, then you'll get an idea. If you're like, I've got one on there, 11 mil toe, 1 mil low. Get that one over there. You can see, obviously that's basically middle, but toe. And how far did that go? That one 167. So it's basically the same distance as what it does on average. Looking at that, I mean, it's performing very, very well from a toe shot. So if you're someone who hits out with the toe quite a bit, if you've got a pattern, you know your pattern of strike, there you go. That's what you've got to try and gain from these reviews. Anyway, okay, so we've got a capture of what the i210 does. Let's go to the i200, one ball further forward, to see if it makes any difference whatsoever. Because in normal setups, it makes none whatsoever. They're literally identical. Okay, on average, the i200, one ball further forward, that's it. 120 miles an hour. So there's no difference so far in ball speed. Again, I move up and down, you can see there. Launch angle, 21.2, which I was expecting a fraction more, but yeah. I thought by having that ball, one ball, that's it. And we're not talking extravagant amounts, just one ball. I thought they might go up a degree or so, but no, it's exactly the same on average. Side angle with spin, you can see tiny little draw, but this is a 6-7 spin, so I'm now 300 RPM more. So where's that 300 RPM coming from? We'll go into that. Peak height now 39. Okay, we're nitpicking over a yard. It is only a yard, but it's a yard. And 165 is it's 1 yard shorter. Again, how picky we're going to get. It's basically the same shot. On average, 1.2 left. You can see there that I do have the occasional left one. I'm having this little tendency to get the occasional pulley one. Might have to work on something. But anyway, 50.9 when it comes to the descent angle on average, and I think the other one's 50.5. So it's, again, we're looking tiny amounts. Now let's see that spin number. Club data 93, so I've dropped 1 mile an hour. That is it on average. 1 mile an hour does not really make that much of a difference. Anyway, on average 2.8 down when I was 2.9 or 3. So that one ball has made a very slight difference to my angle of attack, shallowed it out a fraction. But it's a fraction. With the ball further forward, I am not quite as drawy. My pass is shallowing out, because obviously remember we do an arc when it's in our swing, so ball position does have an effect on club path. Anyway, club loft, okay, club loft 28.9 against 27.8, so basically 1 degree. So there. Okay, I'm getting a bit picky now, but there you've got a degree difference in spin. 1 degree. Will it make 400 RPM difference? Probably not. Or 300 RPM difference? Probably not, if I'm honest. There's a mixture of different things when it comes to strike differences, etc. On this club here, I was 1 mil heel, 2 mil low, and then on the i200, I was 2 mil toe, 3 mil low. So there's a tiny difference in strike there that may have a certain amount of difference on spin, but the reason why it's gone 1 yard up higher is because of the spin number. So that 300 RPM extra has given out that little extra push up in the air to gain that 1 extra yard and 0.4 of a degree descent angle. You can see from this, guys, that I'm getting very picky over the numbers of these two clubs. Now, I've hit a load of shots. I haven't just hit one shot and gone, there you go, identical. I've hit a load of shots, you can see there. So if you've got i200s, and the conclusion of, did you want to look at, if you've got i200s, shall I upgrade to the 210s? Well, unless the i200s offend you in some way from the feel, I would say no. I definitely not. There's just absolutely no point whatsoever. I think when it comes to price point, they're very similarly priced to the old i200s, if not the same, but it's give or take around that figure. If you're in the market for irons, then yes, definitely. The i210s, I would definitely give them a try. If you've got something like of 10 years ago irons, or 5 years ago even, and you're in the market for irons, by all means, look for the i210s. Would I choose the i210s over the i200s because the i200s still available? Of course I would, definitely, with no shadow of a doubt. The performance is identical between the two clubs because basically, apart from a little bit of urethane, really, they are identical clubs. But I would like to have the feel that I get from the i210s over the i200s. Apart from that, Yeah, it's up to you. I would say not to change if you've got i200s, go to the 210s. There's no point. Unless you've got lots of money, you just want to throw money at it, then by all means do what you want. But anyway, hope you got from this that they're identical. So there you go. I should have just got this whole video and then condensed it into they're identical, because they are. But then again, you'd probably want an explanation exactly why they're identical. So there you are. Anyway, hope you like the video. There's a lot of work that's gone into this to show you that they're identical, even though I didn't know they were identical until I started hitting them. But so if you did, click the old like button down there, thumbs up. Subscribe button's going to be around here somewhere. Click that one, do us a favour, and also the little bell icon, because that'll let you know when I've popped another video up on the channels. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon.